Hey, Rachel Miner here. I wanted to hop on today and share a little bit about my story with you. You're working on your health and happiness. You're working on your self-care, and so sometimes it's nice to know that other people have gone through what you've gone through. So, to tell you a little bit about me, I'm a mom of 7. I have kids ranging from the age of 6 to 19, and my childhood was full of like allergies. I always had horrible seasonal allergies. I spent my summers inside. My eyes would swell up. I couldn't breathe. They would, I couldn't see because they would just goop up and shut. And I always thought I was blind and I couldn't go anywhere. I was allergic to everything outside. I was allergic to all animals. I'd go for those skin tests and like where they prick your back, and my whole back would just totally swell up with all of my allergies. So for years I was on medications. I had shots several times in my life where I'd go through and have all of the allergy shots, and it would last a couple of years, and then I'd have to start all over again. And then in my teenage years, I developed some depression, but I was really good at hiding it. I just had this dark cloud that always followed me, but I always thought there was something wrong with me, and I never dared share it with anybody. But I've always been physically active, and I think that's what's helped me through the years. Is I've always been gymnastics when I was a kid and running, and so that always helped me because I stayed active and I stayed fit, and that's what helped get me through times when my depression would get worse or my stress levels would go high. And so in college, I moved to Hawaii, and I actually had a few years where my allergies didn't bother me as much. And so I had a little short relief there for those 5 years while I was in Hawaii. And then when I came back to Utah, I got married and started having kids, and I always just, had things that I thought were typical mom problems. Like I was tired all the time. I suffered from fatigue. I started gaining weight, and I would exercise and try different diets and different supplements and stuff. And I could just never keep the weight off or lose it. And I just slowly would gain it. And I'd be like, I don't get what's wrong. Like I exercise, I'm educated, calories in, calories out. And my depression started getting worse, and we moved to a different state, and I had a few more kids, and same thing. It's always that, excuse like, oh, I'm a mom, I'm tired, I'm pregnant, I'm nursing, I'm working, I'm going to school, I have a job, all those things that you just make all these excuses, and you think that that's life, and moms are supposed to be tired and not have energy. And so after a few years, like I remember going into doctors and I'd be like, there's something wrong with me. Like I can't lose weight, and these doctors would just like talk about, well, let's try this medicine or this medicine. And they never like talked about the whole health of the body and how everything all coordinated together. And you'd go in and you'd be like, oh, this is just an ear, nose, and throat doctor. I just deal with allergies, or this is an OBGYN. I just deal with stuff down there. And they never like put it all together. And I wanted a doctor that like looked at my whole body and talked about the whole health of everything. And I remember as a kid, my mom used to take me to all these like chiropractors and homeopaths, and like I did tinctures and all this natural alternative stuff to try to help my body be healthy. And some of it worked and some of it were great tools, but I never felt like I ever solved it. It always just kind of got me by. And so I was to a point that I had asthma, I had allergies, I was doing shots again later in life. My depression was worse than ever. My fatigue was horrible. There were days I couldn't get out of bed. It was so sad as a mom knowing that if my door was shut, my kids knew, oh, leave mom to sleep because she's not doing so well, and that was a norm for my kids, that I was in bed a lot. And even if I got up and exercised, like I would just drag throughout the day. And a lot of times you can't stay in bed because you got to be a mom. And so like I would just drag throughout the day. I felt like I zombied. I felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything or moving anywhere. And so I finally had a cancer scare, and that's where it kind of opened my eyes again. And I was like, oh my goodness, like there has to be answers out there. And so I started doing research, and I started getting back to all of the holistic and natural things that I learned even as a youth and as a teenager. And I started learning more about gut health. And that's right about the time that I saw my friend posting about Plexus products. And she was a friend that was very educated. She was a nurse. She was married to an ER doctor. She didn't have weight to lose. She taught aerobics for fun. And so I was like, okay, what is this? And the more I researched, the more I realized that all of the ingredients in these products were the same ingredients I was researching about gut health, and how gut health was that missing link. It was the missing piece to the puzzle. And as a kid, I remember being on candida cleanses and sugar pills and all of these things to like help my candida and help my gut. But I never realized that like the gut relates to your mental health, and the gut relates to your mood, and the gut relates to your seasonal allergies, and the gut relates to like 90% of your health. And so that's when I started going, oh my goodness, there's something to this. But honestly, when I ordered it, I thought it would be one more thing that I tried that didn't work. And I didn't want anyone to know that I tried another thing that didn't work. So I secretly ordered it and started taking it. And after a few days, I remember sleeping for the first time, that I slept through the night. And I slept through the night and woke up and felt rested, that I actually had gotten a good night's sleep. And I slowly started feeling better, and that dark cloud slowly started going away. And that's when I was like, oh my goodness, there's something to this. So I started researching these products more, learning more and more about them, and learning how it's not a quick fix. It's not an overnight fix, but slowly those little tiny things add up to big things. And so you notice little things like, oh, my energy's better. Oh, I'm sleeping better. Oh my goodness, my allergies, I'm not as stuffy. I don't have to take pills as much as I used to. And slowly, as you heal that gut and heal your body, it gets better and better. And those small things become bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's kind of like, if you think of an onion, and the first couple layers of that onion are like dried and it's easy to peel off. And then as it gets deeper and deeper, those layers get a little thicker and harder to peel off. But over time, you can keep peeling down all those layers of that onion, and that's your health, is you're breaking down all of those things that are causing havoc in your body until you get to the point that you've peeled them all off, and then you have better health. And so I want to encourage you, research the ingredients, research what it can do for you, and give it a shot. Stick it out for a while. Make sure that your body is going to take some time. A lot of times we, tend to like try things and we're like, oh, I tried it for a week or two and it didn't work. Or I tried it for a month or two and it didn't work. And it's over time that it is going to work. And a year from now, you're going to wish that you had stuck with it. And so you might as well stick with it and see, because that time's going to pass anyway. And then you're going to have great results and you're going to feel better. And I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions with anything. And I'd love to be here to help you. Okay, have a great day.